Hey, Star Fam. You know what I just realized? This is Love After Lockup, not Love During. I realized when I put the image up, I was like, Love During? No, this is after. Don't worry, I'll fix that. Also, oh, look at my little stepping stool in the back. That's me trying to hang stuff in this place. I also realized that I do not have pictures of all the couples, so let's just use our imagination. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about this episode because I was just going to wait and do the latest episode on Friday, but this episode, while I was doing my catch up, this episode had so much going on in it. And I was just like, you know what? Let me just do a quick live with the Star Fam before we get caught up on Friday, just because I think that this season of Love After Lockup, I don't think it's going to be fun. I think we're going to get like a Clinton Tracy season, like just real sad and real heartbreaking because especially with Indy and I believe his name is, Indy and Harry. Harry is dealing with a lot. And I just don't know how much fun he's going to be to review because we are like, what episode is this? Are we like episode 4 or something? And his storyline is still pretty dark. A lot of the storylines are dark. So I'm just like, I don't know how much fun we're going to have with this show, but we will see. Before I get into the review, let me check in with you guys. How are you all doing? Hey, Star Fam. Hey, XO Miss Sanchez. Hey, Jay. Thanks for being here. Oh, it's the sun. I'm like right by the sun, so excuse me if I'm a little. It's like beaming right. Oh no, right here. Right here. Hey, Dr. Rim. Hey, Denard. Hey, Kimberly. Kimberly said Brazilians and Bad Girls Club walk so Love After Lockup could run. Absolutely. Denard said, I need laughs today. It's been a rough work week. My boss quit yesterday. In the past, she's been an abusive boss. So thankful, but also a lot more work on my plate. Are you up for her position? Let us know. We will keep our fingers crossed and send some prayers up. But yeah, hopefully I can make you laugh during this live, Denard. We will see. We will see. But thank you for being here. Hey, Love Like You Are. Hey, B-Fly Nick. Oh, also, I'm going to do the draw tomorrow for the dossier perfume. The only reason why I haven't done it is because I got to get to the post office and I just have not been able to get to it. I can't find it yet. I have the address, but I think I'm going to the wrong one for my zip code, but I should be able to get there tomorrow. And that's when I'm going to be announcing the winner and then shipping it out. I just haven't done it yet just because I didn't want to say, oh, you won, and then I don't ship it out for like a week. So tomorrow is the day when I'll ship it out. Because I'm trying to see, I feel like I've driven by my post office before, but for some reason, like I keep on getting it mixed up with Bank of America. Anyway, just so you know, that's happening tomorrow. No. Oh my gosh, I'm rooting for her. Was it drug related, Denard? Let me just look it up. Christiana, Love After Lockup. Arrested. I hate, I have to clear my search feed. I don't see anything recent. Let me know. Are you talking about the arrest from a month ago? Let me know. Is she still in there? Oh, God. Let me know, Denard. Indy needs to come to her senses. She needs to come to her senses. Harry and that family, it's not worth it. You have to think about your child. Harry and that family is not worth it. What's up, D? How are you? Hey, Daphne. Hey, Aaliyah. What's up, Dwayne? How is the time change working for you guys? Let me know, because now that I am a bit settled, I'm telling you, when you live in this place is so big, like it just makes sounds. And I'm like, what's that? One thing about moving, it makes you appreciate where you came from. Y'all know I couldn't stay in my LA apartment, but there are certain things that I miss about it. One, it's not so creepy. I love this place, but it can get creepy. Anyway, I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, how do you guys feel about the time change? Let me know. Now that I'm a bit more settled, not that settled, I still have stuff being shipped here. I still got a lot of stuff to do, but I'm a bit more stable in this situation, right? So the first month or so was a hump that I had to get over, but I'm in a much better place where I can schedule out things a bit better now. Let me know how the time change is working for you guys. Next week, I'm going to continue to mix it up a bit more just to see. I know our lunchtime crew, we used to kill it on the West Coast with the lunchtime crew. So I'm going to try to do lunch times for East Coast and West Coast next week and see how that works out. And then I'll throw in some evening lives or, uploaded videos for my international subscribers, because I know really, really late is really early for you guys. So you kind of prefer that as well. Just trying to get the vibe of what everybody really pretty much prefers here, because this is our channel, not just my channel. We're a star family. Hey Lex, how are you? Hey Mock Reviews says, hey y'all, congrats on the move, Nikki. Thank you. Have y'all heard about the new show Bad Boys of LA? Yes, I haven't watched it yet. I'm waiting, my besties, I'm waiting to watch it together with them. It's so hard not to watch, but we all made a promise that we're getting together next month, and we all made a promise that we will binge watch it together. So I'm waiting for that, but it's really difficult because my little sister has watched, my mom has watched a bit, and they're like hooked. Thank you so much, Tracy. Tracy said, follow Nikki on Instagram, and there's my Instagram link. And this is also, follow Tracy as well. Put your, Tracy, put your link to your page in the chat as well. This is Tracy's cup. I love it. You will see so much of this cup on my new channel. Oh God, please do not let that be a bug. If that is a bug, I got to get out of here. If that is a bug, Lord, please. Because that thing sounds big. God, please don't let it be a bug. God, please don't let it be a bug. I hope it's, you know what? Maybe it's my refrigerator. Let it be my refrigerator. Anyway. Kimberly, I'm telling you, when I upload my first video, you will be the first person I tell. I just, the move, it just took over a lot. So I had to put that on pause. And with me putting on pause, a lot of things had to change with that. So I kind of reconstructed some things. But it's coming. It's coming. You know what else is coming? Hey, Tracy, Young, Rich, and African. It's on its way. What I want to do is just watch like a couple episodes, then do some, I probably will do some, probably put up like 2 recorded videos over the weekend so I could be caught up, because what I was doing with Love is Blind was just taking a pause on the weekend so I can do the lives, but I felt like so many people were ahead of me by the time I did the next live. So I'm going to do some lives, and then probably our first live will be probably Friday afternoon, depending on something that's happening. So probably Friday afternoon. I haven't put it up yet because I have to confirm my schedule, but probably Friday afternoon. Then I'm going to do 2 videos during the weekend so I could be caught up by Monday, just because during the lives, you guys just binge watch. Like by the time I'm doing episode 3, you all want to talk about episode 6. And I'm like, so just going to pretty much do that catch up with you guys so we can all be on the same page. Thank you so much, Tracy. Cha-ching. Love Like You Are said, Nikki, did you hear? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Love Like You Are said, Nikki, did you hear about the recast of Roni in the Legacy show for the older members of the cast? So you guys know that tomorrow was supposed to be my Real Housewives of New Jersey. I need to stop looking over there. And the Real Housewives of Orange County review. But because this information has come out about Andy, Bravo recasting Roni, I also wanted to talk about that. So instead of doing OC in New Jersey, we are going to talk about the latest episode, right? We are going to talk about the latest stuff that's happening in the Real Housewives of Orange County and the Real Housewives of New Jersey. However, I'm also going to add on this Variety article talking about this big Roni news. Just because how can you not talk about that? So tomorrow is going to be a reality TV chat about the housewife shows instead of a review of the latest episodes. I hope you guys enjoy that. Just because I don't want to skip past that news, I want to talk about it. So that's happening tomorrow, and I think it's going to be at 4. I might change it to a bit earlier. We will see. Speaking of changing time on my lives, the reason why my lives today are so late, or this live is at this time, it's because I thought it was going to be a storm. And normally it storms here really, really early. There's a lot of thunder and lightning and wind, and it's just because the windows, you can hear everything. So I decided to do it late. I'm new here, right? So I am not in a position to talk about, ATL weathermen or judge. I will say, for the little bit of time that I have been here, the weather reports have been wrong. It's sunny, guys. It is sunny. The sun is shining bright. There has yet to be a storm, but since I've been here, we have had several storms reported. And listen, in my first video, I think on my new channel, you will hear thunder and lightning, right? But I'm thinking that that's going to be all day. In Philly, when it storms, it storms. Here, I'm like, oh, that was it. It's giving Florida. So I don't know what's going on here. Maybe my fellow Atlanteans can tell me what's going on, but the weather reports have been wrong, so wrong, to the point where I switched my days around several times, and I'm like, should I just go about how I feel and not listen to the weather report? Because I always listen to the weather report in LA, right? Because listen, the weather in LA is always great, but then we have those days where you keep your behind home. This just it's like shooting dice with the weather here. It really, really is. That's what I think I'm hearing. On my last 2 lives, not my last 2, but on the lives that I've done recently, I've encountered those bugs. I don't know how they're getting in, but I'm going to fix it. I got a meeting with the lawn doctor next week. Oh, baby, we taking care of this. Such a good show. Netflix knocked it out the park with that one. Hey, Sly Cat, thank you for being here. Tracy says, stop the bus. 99 in the room, 311 likes. Stop the Bus Star family. Please like and share and subscribe to the best live reviews on YouTube. Yes. Thank you, fam. Charlene said, I live in Germany, so I'm not able to participate in lives often, but I want to say I love everything about you and your reviews. Thank you so much, Charlene. Thank you. Daphne said, the weather reporters are the only people to lie and keep their job. I mean, listen, yes, I give props to LA, right? But it seems like the weather there is pretty. I think it's a bug, y'all. I think it's a bug. I heard it again. Okay, I'm gonna adjust this so that if it is a bug, I can take off running easily. Give me a second. No, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this. You can have this living room. I won't be in here. Just give me a second in case he jumps up. I am taking off. That's my jacket. Running errands today. You know what? No, I'm gonna fight back. Hold on. Hold on. I'm not gonna be a punk in my own home. I'm not gonna have you like this. The devil is a liar. I think it's a palmetto. That's what I think it is. I think it's a palmetto. I really, really do. And if he come around here, let's go. Let's go. Because that's what I did to the last one. Let's go. Let's go. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to run. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of running. Let's go. Let's go. Anyway, what were we talking about? Kelly, we just got started. We just got started. Maybe this is why I had to move here so I can, address my fear. But I am done. Done living in fear. Not anymore. Not anymore. Let's go. Got real quiet now. Let's go. That did scare me. That did scare me. That did scare me. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to scream through it. I'm going to scream through it. God, please don't let this thing be bigger than I think it is. Anyway, hey, Jazzy Boo. Said first live I made it to in a long time. What a live you showed up to. Dear Diary said, LMFAO, I was like, you from Philly and you not gonna let that bug run you out of your liver. I'm done. I told you in Philly, I used to live near a creek. So I was kind of used to like foxes and water bugs and huge mosquitoes. But it's something, the bugs here, I've never seen them. I've never, like, this is like living in the jungle, for real, for real. For real, for real. I'm fighting back, Leah. I am fighting back. Hey, D-Balaw. D-Balaw said, hi, everyone. Let's get the likes up, please. Hit the like button to support NikkiStar TV. Thank you so much. Wendy said, I'm so happy for the apartment that I live in is bug-free, and that is rare in South Florida. The pest control be on deck. Yeah, I think I already told my family. I was just like, I think I'm gonna probably do a condo. You know what I mean? I'll fight it out with you guys for a minute, but I'm not a country girl, and that's okay. Maybe I needed to do this to realize that this wasn't for me, because I always thought that I would retire in like a cabin in the woods and like write science fiction novels, in my old age. But I realized absolutely not. I'm retiring in an apartment in the sky, a high-rise condo. That is where I will be. I'm a city girl, and it's okay. It's okay. So maybe I just needed to have this experience to realize what was for me. And I found out. Oh God, are y'all gonna see me fight a palmetto bug live? JT said, I hope you have your Bible handy because I'm back. I got it. This thing sounds huge. Okay. Bring it. Bring it. City girl, let's get into it. Listen, I might take off running. There might be some screaming. There might be some fighting, but I am going to win. This demon will not overtake me. I am going to win. I got a fight in me. Anyway, let's get into this. Let's get into this live. Yes, we rebuke him. We rebuke him, Diva Law. We rebuke him. Yes, Nadi, you did. I'm about to start. Yes, it does. Denard said it does sound big. A locust-sized bug, the bugs in the south. Yeah, it's probably harmless, but I'm just not used to it. So, but that's all right. I'm gonna fight back. I'm gonna fight back. I'm gonna fight back. Let's get into it. The only people that I have a picture for is Indy and Harry. This is the only time that this will happen. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to get the pictures for them, for everybody else. But I just had Indy and Harry for some reason. I thought I downloaded everything. Forgive me. Let's get into it. Indy and Harry. I am going to give Indy the benefit of the doubt, right? And I'm going to say that the reason why she did not leave Harry after she found out that he cheated on her was because she was signed up for this show, right? Because we met her on Love during Lockup, but she was also signed up at that point, I believe, for Love after Lockup, because I do not foresee this show watching her performance on Love during Lockup and thinking, yeah, that's the one that we need to take our show, Love After Lockup, to the next level. I think she signed up for both seasons, and I think that's the reason why she decided to stay with Harry. I think that Harry was more of the catch here than Indy. If anything, Indy's mother and her siblings, specifically more her mother, was more of the catch for the show than actual Indy. No shade, but she just comes off very bland on camera. So I really do think that she was staying on in this relationship for the show. Hopefully. Harry is giving this selfish perspective from somebody who has been incarcerated, right? And I say selfish because Harry is talking about, like, he's getting really upset with his family, because this is what happened on this episode. Harry gets out. Indy picks him up. Before he goes sees his family, he decides to get sandwiches for all the men or his friends in the halfway house, which then makes his arrival time to his sister's home 3 a.m. His family, his sisters, his mother, and his nieces and nephews are there waiting for him to arrive. He arrives after 3. They decide to leave at 2:30 because they've been waiting for him all day, and they think it's very disrespectful. They mentioned it several times. This is disrespectful. This is disrespectful. That whole family is like corrupt. You know what I mean? They're just like on 10 all the time. There's never a like sensible conversation with this family. They are always on 10. How Harry was able to survive? Well, you know what? Was he able to survive it? Okay. That family just seems very tense 24/7. So anyway, his mom and his sister leave, but his sister, who's home, that Indy, her daughter, and Harry are going to be staying in, plus her kids are going to be staying in, she was there. So she was very upset with Harry. Harry then comes. He's upset because his family is upset. He probably got cussed out by his mom on the phone on the way there. And he just doesn't want to hear it, right? He was just like, I went and I got burgers for the dudes that was holding me down in prison for 6 years. Like, they wasn't holding me down. They wasn't doing nothing for me. And this is what I want to say about that. I think that people who are incarcerated, who have that kind of mind, don't realize that the people who love them are incarcerated with them, right? Yes, they're probably, yes, they're not behind bars like you, but somebody that they love is in a very terrible situation, especially if you are a person of color. Now, Harry is white, right? So he probably checked off white in prison. which is what, to be honest with you, a lot of, light Latinos do, because I don't think that's probably how they identify. Like you couldn't tell them that they're white, but when it benefits them, they check white. Shout out to 6ix9ine, right? So he, probably didn't have the kind of experience that a darker Latino would probably have, or Afro-Latino will probably have, right? But he, him going into that situation, him coming from a family who does seem like they're not low income, but they're giving me working class, right? So when you don't have the funds to, beat the system like so many of us, not of us, but like so many people do, right? Because let's be honest, you're not going to jail if you have money. That's just not how America works. So when you don't have that, and then you have somebody who is very young and impressionable, and somebody that you love, your little brother is going to prison, your son is going to prison, you're not free. His family is not free. So for him to have this temper tantrum and say that they weren't taking care of him or holding him down in prison, I highly doubt that they didn't visit him. I highly doubt that they didn't put money on his books. I highly doubt that. But you can see how he values his friends over his family, which is why they were upset. And this is my thing. If your friends are so great, why didn't you parole to one of your friends' homes? Like you had to parole to your sister's house. So if she wasn't holding you down, why do you want to live with her? Why did you parole to her place? It seems to me that Harry comes from a very difficult family, right? I'm not going to say that they don't have issues. It is very apparent that this family has issues, but I don't think that they do not love him. I don't think that they were not holding him down. I do not think that they do not care for him. He just comes off as very spoiled and entitled. That's how it was looking to me, because I'm like, how can you come to her home, start screaming and yelling at her? Listen, mind you, she was screaming at him. It's my house. Like they were going back and forth at 3 a.m., right? But how dare you come to her home and say that your friends in the halfway house was more important? Now, we can read into that as he's probably still in some kind of organized crime or in a gang. It sounds like Harry is in a gang. It really, really does. So he probably had to do that because he's probably young and the flunky of the gang and trying to make his way up to a general or something. So he probably had to do that. And instead of telling his family that, his family who does not want him to be with those friends, because even his sister said, you're going out of your way to get food for those friends, making you late to see your family. And those friends were the same ones that got you in prison for 6 years. You're still looking out for them and not looking out for us, right? But I don't think he could tell his family that he's still in the gang or whatever, because they don't want him to be associated with those friends who he probably was in a gang with. It's giving gang. It really, really is. I feel like a lot of people on this, a lot of the men on this show are still involved in some kind of organized crime. Having said that, the whole family needs therapy. The whole family needs therapy. I wish that Indy's mother was there to see that, because I feel like she would not let her child stay in that situation. And it seems like Indy is just so like dedicated to this man that she will keep her and her child in a very unsafe situation. Like Indy is sitting there in the hallway, terrified, while Harry and his sister are screaming. Harry's now outside screaming at the production, holding a bottle of Hennessy or whatever it is, talking about how he just don't have anybody. Nobody looks out for him. Indy is sitting there in the hallway, terrified, looking. Leave this situation. That is not your husband. Like, you do not have to be in this situation. What about him is making you stay here? You weren't even wowed by him in the bathroom when you were having your little bathroom intercourse. It wasn't even that great for you to say, because even when Harry was trying to talk to her about how great it was, she was like, well, it was difficult because, we had a kid in the room, in the bed. She still has yet to say that she had a great time. So, girl, get out of this situation. After this show wraps, free yourself. Hopefully you have. Speaking of Indy freeing herself, I think that she will not have to free herself, because I think that Harry is going to free her for her, like herself. I think he's going to free her before this show is up, because when he meets with his friend is like trying to convince him that Indy is a good girl and to stay with her. And he's just like, no, that's just not like what I want. I don't want to be locked down in a relationship. I just got out of prison. And then basically in his confessional, he goes on about how he's just not a good person. He is that damn palmetto. That's what I think it is. He is going to go back to prison. He believes he's just about the streets. He don't see himself changing. And there are just certain things that while he's out that he's going to have to do, which now convinces me that he's in a gang. I like, how can you not be in some kind of organized crime predicting that you're going to have to do some things that will probably put you back into prison? Yeah, he's in a gang. He's in a gang. Is the Latin Kings in his area? Because that's probably the only Latino gang that I know about. Oh, and 818. I know about 818 in the Valley in LA. That's the only one. The only reason why I know about the 818 gang is because this guy, when my like second apartment in LA had mold, one of the guys that came to remove the mold from my apartment had tattoos all over his body, and he had a huge 818 tattoo on his face. And my friend, see, I wasn't from there. I was just like, oh my God, like that tattoo was a little excessive. And my friend was like, oh, you don't know? And I'm like, what are you talking about? My roommate, singer, she's still my friend too. But she was like, oh, you don't know? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, he's the gang. She's like, look at his tattoos. And so now I'm in the kitchen acting like I got to get something, looking at all of this guy's tattoos. And I think it was like a reform prison program or something, or some kind of reform program, because he was working with somebody, but he was a sweetie. We all felt very safe, but that's how I found out that there was a local gang in my neighborhood because of the tattoos on his face. So maybe he's a part of something like that. I don't know if that's still around, or, you know, if there's gangs in his area, but it sounds like he's in some kind of organized crime, because there's no way that you can predict that you'll be back into prison because you have to do some things that will put you at risk. No, he's doing favors. He's doing something. That's why his family was not a priority. He had to go get whoever that kingpin was in that halfway house something to eat. That's what I think. Hey, Mackie, thank you so much for the super chat. Mackie said, I think his sister doesn't want him paroled because she knows he hasn't changed and doesn't want him bringing drama to her house. It doesn't help that Indy, stranger, and her baby are there too. I absolutely agree with you. And although I think that Harry's family doesn't want him with Indy because they know who Harry is, right? I don't think they don't like Indy. I think they know who Harry is, and I think they know that he has not changed, right? I think they don't want her with him because they know who his brother is, but a part of them do want her, like, I won't say maintain this relationship, will be bothered by this relationship because they know that Indy's a good person and will probably at some point keep their brother on the straight and narrow. But I think another part of them just knows that Harry is just not going to change, unfortunately. Because, I mean, if you listen to him, he says it. He's not changing. He's going to be back in prison. He's going to keep on being in the streets. He's going to keep on thugging. He is not changing because there were a lot of people who were holding him down who he got to pay respects to. So he's letting us know he's going to be back in prison. So, but I do think that they like that Indy is probably the most stable girlfriend that he's ever had, although they know that he's cheating on her and not treating her well because that's just Harry. But I do think that they tolerate, that's what I was looking for, that they tolerate her because she is somewhat of a sane partner for him and somebody who will look out for him, unfortunately, right? So there's like they're not really tolerating this relationship because of all the great things about Indy. They're tolerating this relationship because they're hoping that their brother will be responsible with this one, although I think they know he won't be. Harry himself admitted it, that he's just not a good guy. And he's just not going to be faithful to Indy. He also mentioned his age, which I told you guys about before. I was just like, he's just far too young for her. Yes, they're both within their 20s, right? But 23 and 29, two different worlds. two different worlds, and he needs to cut her losses after this show. Anyway, Mackie, thank you so much for the super chat. Ching ching, a ching ching. Let's move on to Taylor and Chance. Why are you getting louder? It's like the louder I get, the louder the bug gets. Anyway, Taylor and Chance. Do you guys feel like Taylor is playing the good girl role? I'm not saying that she's like a kingpin, but she does give me thug princess. She really, really does. I feel like she's playing into this character because I'm just like, somehow your twin is just, this bad girls club alumni, and you are nothing of the sort. And it could be true, right? I just don't believe it. I feel like it's a character that she's playing. I really, really do. But, it could be true. She could be a very innocent person, but Anyway, Chance. I believe that him and Taylor are the real thing. I do believe that. I do believe that there is some love that the both of them have for each other. I think that Taylor is probably a bit more infatuated with Chance, and I think that Chance loves the fact that Taylor stands beside him, right? I think that's what is really keeping this couple together, because they really don't know each other. They really, really don't. Like, she met him because she was trying to reach her boyfriend who was in prison, right? Like, you this innocent girl and you keep on dating felons. Not saying that you can't be innocent and date felons, but I'm just like, if this is your dating pool, you've flushed some cocaine down the toilet before, girl. I'm not buying it, Taylor. But I do think that these two are the real deal. I do think there is love for each other, but in different ways. Like I said, Chance loves the fact that she stands beside him and she really cares for him. And I think that Taylor just loves a bad boy. That's just what I get. I could be wrong. It's still early. Anyway, what I don't like is that first thing is that Chance was asking Taylor to French kiss him right out of prison. Now, listen, I was with Taylor because Taylor was not trying to suck on that prison tongue. Good for her, but she did it anyway. Falling to what the guy fresh out of prison wants. Here we go. But she's been here before. Anyway, he's fresh out of prison and he already has an issue with her twin sister. Like, before he even met her, he was like, oh, I hope she's not going to be a problem. I hope she's not going to be like laying around. I hope that she's not going to interfere with me and Taylor's relationship. I hope she's going to let me be the man of the house. Who are you? Who are you? First of all, Taylor and her sister lived there with both of their kids. So that means that the both of them were bringing something into the home. Her sister did not move into her home. Well, maybe she did move into her home, but I think that they have a joint home where the both of them are contributing. So you're not kicking Taylor's twin sister out of her home. He just has this idea that he's going to come to this place and just run it. And he doesn't want her sister to give her any issues. But I will say, he says all that in his confessional. He says all that to Taylor. But when he meets Taylor's sister, he's just like, he's very polite. He's like, hi, I want you to know that I'm here to do the right thing. I will not hurt your sister. I am here to help take care of the kids. I want to be here. Like, I was just like, where's all that tough guy stuff that you was talking in the confessional? Where's all that tough talk that you was talking to Taylor, letting her know that when you get there, you're going to bring order and her sister is not going to be laying around and doing whatever she wants to do? You didn't say any of that, and her sister was giving it to you. Taylor's sister was going toe-to-toe with this man, and he backed down the entire time. Look at you being all talk. Because he met a fellow felon, okay? He knew that she just wasn't somebody he was going to be able to walk over when he seen her. Because homegirl stood up, pulled them big torrid jeans up and looked at him and said, what's up? She's like, what's up? How you doing? Not impressed. Not impressed. Taylor, don't ever let your sister go. She's going to look out for you because she sees Chance. She sees something in him. And she ain't playing that game. Anyway, I do also think that his obsession with her sister is a bit alarming, right? And it's alarming in the sense where I feel like he wants her gone because he cannot fully control Taylor with the sister being around. And I think that he's going to make a problem with Bobby, not to Bobby's face, but with Taylor, and probably force Taylor to tell her sister to move out if that's Taylor's place. I feel like he's going to try to drive a wedge between the both of them so that he can fully take over Taylor. He's pretty much already there, right? Because if this woman who you do not know, really, right, you have not met outside of prison, moves you into her home with her very young children, with her sister and her very young children, without a second thought, right? Didn't even bat an eye. You already know if you're a manipulator, if Chance is a manipulator, then he already knows that he has her in a certain spot, right? Because to a normal person, this just does not make any sense, right? To anybody outside of Love at the Lockup, this just doesn't make sense. So I think he realizes that he already has Taylor in some kind of headlock, but he cannot fully take over her with her sister being there. So I see him trying to drive a wedge because all of his confessionals are about her. All of his confessionals are about Bobby and how Bobby is a problem and how he's going to lay down the law with Bobby. Why are you focusing on Bobby and not getting a job? Why are you focusing on Bobby and not your recovery, not doing better, not being a better partner to Taylor, not ring shopping, not, going to meet with her children's father and, asking their permission if you could, be in that home with their children? Like, why are you focusing so much on Bobby when there's so many other things that you have to focus on? Stay woke, Taylor, because I know that Bobby's third eye is wide open. Since we're here, I feel like I say this every season, but where are the fathers? Where are the fathers? I just cannot understand Taylor's children's father or fathers just being okay with this, just being okay with a man fresh out of prison moving into the home with your little child. Like, how are you okay with that? How are you not in court, fighting for custody, right? Or not even in court. How are you not like sitting down with Taylor at the local McDonald's and saying, listen, I want you to find happiness, but if you're going to do it in a way where this man that you barely know, you're moving into your home to live with you and our children, then I would like for them to live with us until you feel like it's safe enough for them to be around, until we both can come to an agreement that it's safe for them to be in the same home as this man that you just met. Why are you not having that conversation? Like, where are the fathers? It's just so crazy watching this show, how so many fathers just leave their kids in just really bad situations. Like, we have never seen a father fighting for custody on Love at the Lockup, especially when it's concerning women who are falling in love with felons, that they incarcerated men that they met through a pen pal program, and are moving this man into their home, marrying them in prison, moving this man that they never met outside of prison walls into their home. Like, where are the fathers? None of them have ever said, like, there's never been a woman on this show that said, well, he has to parole to another place because I'm in court right now fighting my ex because he doesn't want him to come live in the home with our daughters. Like, that's never come up. Never come up. If anything, the mothers have their kids 24/7. Ciao. Says a lot. Let's stay on the father's topic for a second, because I also want to say this. I find it very weird, and this is nothing. I'm not putting this on Taylor's kids. I'm putting all of this on Taylor. I find it very weird that her daughters are becoming so attached to Chance so early. Like, one of her daughters was upset that Chance was spending more time with his sister than she was with him. That is not his responsibility. And I feel like in that moment, that young girl's anger was not at Chance. It was at her father, right? She wanted her dad to be there, but instead it was Chance filling that void. So she's throwing out all this aggression on Chance because Chance was just like, what's up? What's going on? And listen, I get him. Like, what is happening here? Why are you so upset? And I don't feel like it was because of Chance. I feel like it was the representation of, I feel like it was what Chance represents to that young girl. And I'm like, Taylor, do you see that? And she's just like, Chance is, he just gonna have to be a little bit more gentle with the girls. Those are not his children. He does not have to work out daddy-daughter issues with your children. You have to take the initiative and make sure that your child is either going to therapy or that her father is in her life. If the man does not want to be in her life, then you have to take your daughters to therapy and maybe not move a felon in that you just met on the internet into your home. I don't care how long she's been talking to him. You don't really know somebody, especially somebody incarcerated. They all talk about how they're just writing to people and they're just scamming because they're lonely and they need money. It's just not a really smart situation, Taylor. It really, really isn't. And your daughters putting all of their issues on, especially your youngest, putting all those issues on Chance is not his fault. He should not have to take that on. And you should step in because you see it. She was sitting there watching it. She was sitting there watching her daughter have a whole temper tantrum because she thought that Chance was spending more time with her sister than him and that he rejected her and didn't want to be with her. And I'm like, he shouldn't have to walk into that situation. You brought him into this situation. He should not have to deal with that. You don't sit there and watch and just say, he's going to have more patience. No, you need to take that kid to therapy. You need to take that kid to therapy and you need to get the father and the father's family together and be like, listen, it takes a village. Where the hell y'all at? But you're so busy worried about this incarcerated dingaling, you don't see that the baby's got some issues. Every season on this show, I cannot. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, no. Child, I thought I deleted my notes. Let's move on to Lacey and Antoine. Remember when I said that this show was going to be sad? This is going to be one of the stories. Antoine's mom is clearly an alcoholic. Like, I don't need to see anything else. And dare I say that she was on some pills as well. So Tracy is in a relationship with Antoine, who is, I believe she's 38. She's 38 and Antoine is 27. And his mother actually set them up. Lacey, because Antoine's mom, she can't be 38, right? Clearly she's not 38, but she set up Lacey with her son. Y'all friends? Y'all hang out? I don't think that, it's not weird for somebody 38 to be hanging out with somebody in their 50s. I'm just like, I just think it would be more realistic if Lacey was a little bit older for them to be girlies like that, right? But you know what it is, 38. It is what it is. I still go by my Hollywood age. So anyway, no judgment, but she meets with Antoine's mother over dinner or whatever. And it's very clear that the mother is under something. And even Lacey mentions it. She says that, she's been doing a lot of drinking and she has some problems. She can't even finish the scene with this lady because, first of all, this is what I want to say about this show. If this lady is so unstable, why are y'all still filming with her? She cannot even she picks up the glass, hands shaking. She double fisting vodka and water, shaking hands. Why are we still filming? Why are we still filming this lady? She's telling Lacey that her son is terrible. He's going to treat her badly. He's going to cheat on her. Her son is scum. And I'm telling you, I could be reaching, but I was watching this and I was just like, you know what? Antoine, Sam's getting a bit closer, but I'm not afraid. I was watching this and I was like, you know what? Antoine being in prison after watching his mother. Not really shocking, right? Not really shocking, because how long has she been like this? Has she been like this his whole life? Did she just start this? Like, what is happening here? Like, if this is his mother, this has always been his mother, then I can kind of see how he has spent so much time in prison. It always comes from childhood trauma. It's always childhood trauma manifesting in adults. And this is what happens if it goes unchecked for a lot of people. Now, some of us may find other vices, right? Some people may find drugs. Some people may find violence. Some of us find food. Hello. Some of us find toxic partners to fix because, we had a toxic parent and we're getting healing through fixing this person. I'm back. Some of us have kids, right? To, try to love the trauma out of yourself through loving them. People choose different ways to heal, but a lot of us are adults walking around with childhood trauma that is as old as us. And so seeing Antoine's mom, I'm just like, it's not far-fetched that you're in and out of prison. It's not far-fetched. It's very sad as well. It's very sad as well, because I think when Antoine's mom sobers up and sees that, she's going to be hella embarrassed. Hella embarrassed. And I'm just like, at what point does the show say, put the cameras down? Right? At what point do we say, we probably shouldn't show this woman like this because it's obvious that she's not in her right mind? Words are slurring. My son is going. How is Lacey even having a conversation with her? Lacey finally gets up because she's just like, you're drunk. I can't have a conversation with you. She's like, get up, walk away. You're my son. Get up. Why are we still filming this? And even Lacey was just like, I realized that she has a problem. And I'm like, Lacey, she may have had a problem. Like, you did not just discover that this lady got a problem with alcohol and probably something else. So here is where the trauma, the sadness of this show kicks back in, right? Because before, we just had manufactured drama and we were okay with it, right? We just had manufactured drama that was being exploited and we were chill with it. But now we're getting back to the roots of this show, right? We're getting back to the substance abuse. We're getting back to the traumas of this cast. And I'm just like, eesh. I don't know. I'm kind of missing the manufactured drama. I really, really miss Chevelle watching this episode because I just feel like this season is going to be so dark, and Chevelle was so good on this show because she brought comedy. And I think that's what this season is missing. And I think this season is missing that because we have a lot of sick people on this cast. A lot of sick people. I'm missing a bad acting. Dare I say I'm missing Michael and Sarah, right? I'm missing them. I feel like this is a whole cast of Britneys and her family. That's what it's giving. You know how like when Britney is on an episode, we're just like, oof, child, this was a lot. But it's mixed in with other people. I think we have a whole cast of Britneys, and I just don't know how fun this is going to be. Sorry, Denard. I'm so sorry. Let's move on to Kevin and Tiffany. Like I said, I love some manufactured drama on this show. I just think that Kevin and Tiffany, especially Kevin and his ex, I think that the acting is so poor, I can't get into the manufactured drama because we do have a cast, we do have three cast members on the show that are obviously here for the cameras, right? Tiffany is obviously a lesbian. It's like I feel like we have this every season too. It's like we clearly have a lesbian who is scamming, who was scamming a straight man in prison, but is still scamming him outside of prison because, like, how the hell do you tell your boyfriend that you got in trouble, like that your release date was pushed back. I was trying to let you live. That your release date was pushed back because you were getting scissored to death. Like, girl, what are you doing? How do you tell your boyfriend that? And he's like, oh, you freaky. You freaky. First of all, is Kevin passing? Like, what? I'm from Philly, so I'm used to white men like this, but I'm like, you are really committed to this, Africanus Americanus suit that you're wearing. Anyway, he's talking to her on the phone, and she's just like, yeah, me and my girlfriend, we got caught. And I'm like, how you tell your boyfriend you got a girlfriend? And then he's like, yeah, well, she knows that, I'm okay with her being with women. How are you okay with her being with women when you were shocked that she was getting scissored to death? So that's why her release date was pushed back. How are you now okay with her being women when she just told you what it was? Here we go. Here we go. Like another lesbian scamming the street. Because you cannot tell me that this woman is not gay, because you literally risk your freedom for some coochie. That's some gay stuff. That's gay. And he's like, I'm all good. It's just as long as she with other women. I like it, the more the merrier, but she can't be with a man. Don't worry. Don't worry. I don't think you're going to have that problem with Tiffany. His ex is doing the most. Oh, the ex is doing the most. She is so annoying. Oh, are you talking to that girl? Are you talking to? No, talk to me. How do you just keep on popping up where he's at? And how is Kevin always shocked when she's walking up to him, like trying to fight him over Tiffany, when she literally has a camera crew following her? Every time we see this girl, the cameraman is clicking on them big block Charlotte Russe clearance heels that she wears every time she confronts him. And Kevin is always with a drink, and he's like, yeah, man, I'm going to see Tiffany. Yo, what's she doing here? You didn't see this camera crew? Stop playing with me, Kevin. Stop playing with me. Anyway, we don't know if we'll ever see Tiffany this season, because it seems like every time a release date comes up for her, she just, got to get that last bite of coochie. And she always seems to get in trouble and get her release date pushed back. Seriously, y'all, no jokes. Like, if you're risking your freedom for vagina, you're gay. You're gay. What? Anyway, let's move on to Ray Dean and Rick. I was not expecting. Like, does Ray Dean look like her mugshot? I'm sorry. When we saw Ray Dean, I was like, oh, what happened in prison? Like, this, it was a little, like, I mean, it was a resemblance, but I was like, oh, okay. Ray Dean, another lesbian. Another lesbian scamming a straight man. And you know what? Listen, for Rick, I don't feel sorry for Rick, because I'm just like, Ray Dean has let you know. She has put everything on Front Street. She has told Rick, when I come out, I have a girlfriend. And you are just going to have to be okay with that. And when she got on the phone, when she saw her family, and she got on the phone with her girlfriend, she was so giddy and happy. She was not even like that with Rick. When Rick saw her, he went to go kiss her, and he tried to put his tongue down her throat. And she was like, ooh, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. That's grossing me out. Really? This is your man. You haven't been able to touch him like this in a while. You disgusted by him trying to kiss you and put his tongue down your throat? It's giving gay. Like, I just feel like this show has a lot of lesbians on it. And the men, it's so obvious that these women are like scamming you guys, except for Stan and Lisa. Lisa was gay. Lisa was gay. Anyway, I just feel like it's just so obvious. So I don't feel bad for the men, because I'm like, they're telling you what's going on, right? It's obvious that the only time you get a crumb of coochie is when money is involved. So, but she banging that chick for free. Like, let's come on, let's be real about the situation. But anyway, Ray Dean is disgusted by, because I think that fool is getting closer. So I got to get my bearings straight. Because baby, it's gonna be a war here. He tried to get closer to me. Anyway, so Ray Dean is disgusted by Rick, don't really want to be like close to him or whatever. And she's just like, sticking his tongue down my throat. I'm not ready for that too soon. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If your coochie throb for penis, you want all of that. You want all of that. If it doesn't, if it's drier than the Sahara when you get next to a man, a wee, then you get disgusted by him trying to put his tongue down your throat. I will say this, no shade. But I'm like, Ray Dean, the fact that he wanted to shove his tongue in your mouth, I'm not saying let him, but I mean, I would have been like, oh, well, you must really love me, right? Right? He saw everything that was happening in there and still wanted to put his tongue in that. That's love. That's love. I'm not saying you should feel honored, but I'm like, girl, like, let's move on. Let's move on. I don't think that Ray Dean is an adrenaline junkie, because just like Harry, she's talking about how she just likes committing felonies. Where do they get these people from? Where do they get these people from? She's talking about how, she just likes committing crime because she's an adrenaline junkie. I don't think you're an adrenaline junkie. I think that you need therapy. Something is wrong. Another childhood trauma. Nobody's saying just commits crimes just because they like the high of running from the law. I like the high of, eluding prison. Nobody's saying, looks at that and says, that's what I do for adrenaline. Childhood trauma. Let's talk about it. Let's get help. Let's get some help, Ray Dean. Let's get some help. Anyway, Rick takes Ray Dean home to be with her family or whatever. And this part just always breaks my heart when it stops becoming a train wreck TV and it turns into like intervention, because this is when we see the family, we see her parents who are older people who are just breaking down, crying, seeing her, especially her father. He's like loving on her, hugging on her. He's like, my baby's home. Like, Ray Dean, stop getting locked up. It don't seem like, I'm not going to say that dad doesn't have a lot of time, but I'm like, dad is old. Stop putting him through that. Stay out of prison. But just like Harry, I don't think she is, because she was saying she likes it. How you like getting locked up? Like, how you like just scamming and committing all these kind of felonies and getting locked up? How do you do that? How do you get in bars and you're just like, well, this was fun. Let's do it again. Ciao. Anyway, how I also believe that Ray Dean is probably a full-blown lesbian. Shout out to my LGBTQ family. What's up? Y'all know what's up. Y'all know the truth. Let's talk about it. Why that is confirmed for me. Sorry, I got to charge my phone. Why that is confirmed for me is because I've watched this show long enough to know that when somebody says that they have love for their partner, that does not mean that they love them, right? It's like when her mom is asking her if she loves him, she's like, I have love for that man. You have love for that man. She asked you if you loved him, not if you had love for that man. So again, I think that Ray Dean is scamming. I think that, she just really wants somebody to support her and her girlfriend, because the way Ray Dean lit up when she was talking to her girlfriend on the phone, right? The way she already made space in her life with Rick for her girlfriend lets me know that that's the main chick. You know what I mean? And yes, bisexual people absolutely exist. I am not saying that Ray Dean And what's her name? Tiffany could not possibly be bisexual, but I do think that they are lesbians who are scamming straight men who are doing the long con with these guys that they were scamming in prison. In this situation, I think so. But they very well could be bisexual as well. I think that what's her name? Lindsay? Lindsay. Remember Lindsay? The one who the guy who had the full lips, she was scamming him and she wanted her girlfriend to move her trailer into his garage. I think she's bisexual. I think that she's bisexual. I also think that she's nuttier than a fruitcake, but I think that she's bisexual. Radine and especially Tiffany, I'm getting gay. I'm getting lesbian. I'm definitely picking up lesbiana. Kayla and Martell. Let's end with them. Kayla either knows or is playing ignorant or knows something and is playing ignorant to the fact that her man is still in the game. Martell is still in the game. Martell is still in the game. And Kayla, like within seconds of watching this man and just listening to his confessional, I knew that he was still in the game. There's no way that you've been holding it down for him for 13 years, you know, doing all this stuff for this man that you don't know that he's still in the game. There's just no way, right? Because when Martell gets out, soon as he gets out, he's on the phone. And yes, when you get out of prison, you know, everybody wants to call and talk to you, but Martell was taking very, you know, interesting phone calls to the point where Kayla was like, put it on speakerphone. And I don't think she was telling him to put it on speakerphone because she wants to hear the conversation. She was telling him to put it on speakerphone because the producers wanted to capture the conversation. And she keeps on telling him, Martell's on the phone. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm not putting it on speakerphone. This conversation doesn't need to be recorded. Okay. He was like, there's nothing that I'm saying that everybody need to know about. And then in his confessional, he's talking about how he has to, that there were certain people, you know, his friends or whatever was like holding him down and looking out for him while he was in prison. And, you know, he got to look out for those people now. Oh, he's still in the game. Either he is a mid-level runner or he a kingpin. I don't know. He gives me kingpin. He gives me king. How many years did he do? Because kingpins normally don't do a lot of years. I think 10 at the most. If he did 20, he's probably a low-level runner, or he's probably running some kind of operation in prison because there are kingpins who stay in prison to get that operation strong and then get released and then make sure the free operation and the prison operation is running cohesively. So he could be that. He could be that. But I'm like, Kayla, how you don't know? Like, how you not know that this man is still in the game? He keeps on taking phone calls. Keeps on taking phone calls. And it's not like, you know, his mom or anybody or like family members. Oh, yo, hey, man, what's up? Yeah, you know, doing it. I got you. Sure. Yeah, I'll be around there. Sure. Yeah. Like real, like, not even like in-depth conversations, not like long run-on sentences. It's yeah, I got you, sure. Brother is talking cold, Kayla. So either you're playing dumb for the cameras or you're his queen pin. You trapping with him as well, Kayla. Because also, why? I mean, Martell is cute, but why you put your life on hold for 13 years? Something not adding up. Something is not adding up. Martell's family absolutely broke my heart, especially his niece. This was a real moment. When his niece saw him, she just could not stop screaming and hugging on him and just kept on screaming his name and saying, my uncle is free. My Uncle Marty is free. Like, she was so happy to see him. And it's obvious that when he went to prison, she was a child because she reverted back to a child when she saw him. She was so happy to see him and his mother could not let him go. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Is the streets really that great that you will put your family who loves you through all of this? Like, I would love for Martell to, you know, come out and run, you know, do the straight and narrow and just be, you know, a good citizen. But I just don't think it's going to happen, especially from his confessional. He's still in it. He's still in it, talking about stuff that he got to do, things that he got to take care of and people that he got to take care of because they took care of him. He's still in it, Kayla. He's still in it. And if you were with him for 13 years, you know that he in it. And you know what stuff is hidden. Because what kind of job does Kayla have? Have we ever seen Kayla go to work? Child, don't play me. Play checkers. Play checkers. This couple has a ton of secrets, but I think one of the biggest secrets between this couple is that they're both each other's sneaky link. I think these two have main people, but they think that they're the main for each other, but they're not. They both have a main, and I think that they think that they're the main, but they're not. I think they're sneaky links, and I think they're going to realize this throughout the show because Martell got a bunch of women trying to talk to him. And listen, a bunch of women talking to him and a bunch of women who are holding him down in prison who are ready to see him. Listen, he's fine, right? Like, I can see it. It's the gold teeth for me. Like, I feel like it's cute, but then I want you to take him out at a point. Like, gold teeth on a black man, especially a nice little chocolate one, cute, right? But like as embellishments, that's your 24/7 teeth. You gargling with jewelry cleaner, that's another level for me. So I don't know how fine he is. I know he has great eyelashes and beautiful skin. So I get it. I get him being, the bee's knees of the hood, but he got to take them teeth out. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. What do you guys have to say about this episode? Let's get into it. Wait! Whose father passed away? Taylor's baby father, husband, children's father are dead, or the oldest one? Let me know, because I only was able to watch half of the first episode because I didn't have cable at the time, so I was watching everything on the internet. And Love After Lockup, I watched it on WeTV. They would not let me finish the episode. For some reason, they kept on telling me to go back and that it wasn't available, but like 30 minutes of it was available. Ghetto! Let me know. Let's get Indy. Said, am I the only one who thinks Martell is super scary, especially with the dead eyes? He came across really grimy as well. We're all family here. Let's tell the truth. He gives me killer. Martell, I feel like Martell has, I feel like he's taken a couple lives. He's just very, it's like a darkness. Like you could see him be a little bit brighter when he was around his mother, but it's just like he done some things in this game. He done some things in them streets, and it's like, I feel like it changed him forever. But yeah, I said what I have to say. I agree with you, Indy. Ask the Black people in their lives. Ask Indy. It's very weird to me. I'm from Philadelphia, so that's just not the norm. But they could be from New York, where that is the norm. Because let me tell you something. When I lived in New York, everybody used the N-word. Like, it was just like a thing. And every time I tried to talk to somebody about it, it's like, oh no, it's New York culture. This is how we are, like everybody family. Okay. Everybody family, but let some Black men go to Dykeman. Things change. Let some African Americans go to Dykeman. Let some Jamaicans go to Dykeman. The N-word, all of a sudden, it's not an AH at the end of it anymore. It's an ER. Only Black people, only Black racial slurs are allowed in New York City. You try the other racial slurs, it's a war. Where it could that could just be where they're from, but it's just like, I don't blame non-Black people who use the N-word freely. Like, cause I know y'all saying it when y'all in your cars or whatever, rapping along the songs, or just by your lonesome. But I'm talking about the ones who have Black people in their lives and they just say it so freely. I'm like, I'm always mad at the Black people. Like, how are you so comfortable with these people using racial slurs about your community and saying, no, it's endearing? Weird. Very, very weird. But my issue is with the Black people. Thank you, Diva Law. Thank you for monetary blessings. Well, JT, I'm a city girl, so I'm just not used to that. Like I said, when I did live in a house in Philly, I lived by a creek, and I never got used to the water bugs, but I knew when to expect them, and I knew how to like fight that. But this is on another level. I'm telling you, I've seen bugs I have not seen in my entire life. I'm in the country, y'all. Like, this is for real. Like, when we first looked at the place, it was cute, right? I told you there's a farm right down the street, and I'm starting to become besties with one of the horses. Every time I walk by, he like runs to the end of his pen and he puts his head down. I know he wants me to pet him, but I can't. Like, that's, I haven't met his owner yet because I never like, I see her when I'm driving by. I never see her when I'm walking by, but he always like, you can tell that we're becoming best friends. He like follows me on my walk because the farm is huge. So I walk around the farm. So he follows me the length of the farm till he can't follow me anymore. And then he watches me walk and then he leaves. He or she, I don't know. I haven't looked at their genitalia, but I have a bestie and it's a horse. So like when we saw it in the daytime, it was beautiful, right? Of course, coming from the city, you see something like this and you're mesmerized. You don't realize that you'll be living in that and that's just, like it looks pretty on pictures, but you're literally living in a huge animal habitat. Like I'm in their home, okay? Hey, Nerly. Nerly said, Indy needs to understand that Harry is definitely not ready for any type of commitment or taking on being a stepfather. He's not. He's very dangerous. He is. He has the kind of mindset where it's like he's given up, right? He just knows that his life is destructive and it's going to continue to be destructive. And he's looking forward to it because he thinks that this is it for him. And that's just not like, how do you want him to be a father to your child when he's sitting here saying that he's not going to leave the streets and he has to do things that'll put him back in prison? You want him raising your daughter, Indy? I'm sorry. Listen, I'm not a parent, right? But I feel like if you bring a child into this world, you should always be a priority. But that child that you chose to bring into the world needs to be a huge priority in your life. And it's just Indy, it doesn't seem like your daughter is a huge priority, right? Like she's a priority, but I think that Harry is a bigger priority. And that's a problem. That is a problem. Tia Bia. Tia Bia said, yep, they say it a lot. And in Nikki's voice, hit me and my ancestors. Yeah, I'm never okay with it. I'm never okay with it. I love living in New York City, but that was like the one thing I was like, yeah. So I'm probably going to be living in the more bougie areas when I finally buy a home there. Because I'm like, it's just very weird to me. And you know what? It could just be because a huge part of the Black population in New York City, not African Americans. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe those Black people there don't identify with that word as a slur for them. I could be wrong, but maybe it's like, oh, they're talking about African Americans, or Africa. It's an African American problem, not our problem. I will say, New York is very diverse. It's very segregated. Very segregated. I didn't know how many cultures that look the same don't rock with each other until I lived there. Like I remember when I said that a coworker, something about her being Puerto Rican. No. I said something about, I didn't say about her being Puerto Rican. I said that about my manager being Puerto Rican. And she was like, Nikki. And I'm like, huh? Like, I didn't know. She was like, she is not Puerto Rican. She is Dominican. You can't tell? I didn't want to tell her that I couldn't. I didn't want to tell her that I couldn't. But yeah, she had a huge problem with that, like just disdain for this woman because she was Dominican. And then I also learned about the Dominican and Haitian beef. I learned so much. This is all in the Gap. I learned so much about like cultures working in the Gap, 34th Street Gap. I learned so much about cultures working at that job. I just was like, really? Wow. I mean, you guys kind of look alike. Let me stop. She was very upset about that. And then I also learned that you can't, that there is some kind of beef with like Puerto Ricans and Mexicans. And child, learned a lot. Learned a lot. JG said, like, are we sure he didn't cheat with one of them in the house? Because why was it so important to get them burgers? Like, for real. Listen, Jade. Listen, Jade. I'm like, because he did say that he cheated on her in prison, right? And listen, we all know that the lunch ladies are getting their backs blown out in prison. We have learned from this show that the lunch ladies and the what do they call? They're not security guards. You know, I'll call them that, but I know it's not their name. A correctional, is it parole officers? Correctional officers. Correctional officers, the female ones, we all know they're getting their back blown out in prison. So we have learned that from watching this show. So I will say he definitely could have been with a woman, but, you know. Are we ever going to have a felon on this show that, like, admits that he fell in love with another man? Because the women are always talking about how they had a girlfriend in prison. The men, not so much. And I'm like, you mean to tell me all the men on this show, ain't none of y'all had a boyfriend in prison? Especially the ones that always got nice twist out and braids. You mean to tell me a friend was doing your hair? Okay. Beyond entitled, Tiffany. Beyond. Connie said, Harry can't even take responsibility for the crime he committed. He's not ready to be released. Listen, sounding like he wants to go back, Connie. Sounding like he wants to go back. Oh, Connie said that he probably dropped off burgers to pick up drugs. Yikes. What a way he's talking. Probably very true. Probably very true. Hey, Tamika. Tamika said he was sounding like he plans on, going back to jail, running with the same people. Absolutely. Now, does he sound like it, or can he not get out of it? Because from my understanding, you can't get out of a gang. The only way to get out of a gang is to die. So I don't know. Oh, Yuli! They do. They just scream at each other. And I'm like, do you guys realize you can just speak? I'm glad that Harry and his sister was able to have a conversation for at least 2 seconds. But I think that was the producers doing that. I don't think they actually talk to each other like that. I don't think they actually have conversations. I think they just scream and yell until somebody bows down. She does. She does. And if she doesn't, I hope her mom comes and gets her granddaughter. That is not a healthy situation for that child to be in. Absolutely, Tiffany. Absolutely. Hey, Denard. Denard said, Indy gives me a ride or die at all costs to a fault, which is dangerous. Yes, at the expense of her child's sanity. At the expense of her child's sanity, because this is not a healthy situation. Nerly said, I'm concerned that Indy is shrinking in her face and body. She looks stressed out. She does look very skinny. Harry doesn't love her. He said so to his friend. He's immature. Yeah, because this is the thing. Indy was a con for Harry. He didn't expect it to go this far. But then when she shows up with the TV show attached to her, you gonna say no? Which is dumb, because I felt like he should have said no, because he's obviously still in organized crime. So it's like, dude, you are going to mess yourself up. Last thing about Indy and Harry, Jade said Indy and Harry both have the mindset of 16 to 17-year-olds. Yep. She thinks he's so cute, caught up in a sexy bad boy with the hang time. Let's talk about it. Y'all know how that hang time had us in the chokehold back in the day. And he don't care for her outside of what she can do for him, and not even sexually. Yep. Yep. You are on it. You are on it. Hey, Graciela. Graciela said, OMG, all my peeps are here. Hi, everyone. Too many of y'all to name. Oh, I love that. I love what we all, like, connect like that in the Star family. Tamika says he's trying to move the sister, talking about Chance, into the garage like he paying the bills up in here. He's trying to move her to the garage and then out the home. He wants full control over her. He really, really do. He really, really does. Tia Bia says, talking about Chance, he had a problem with her because she's hip to the game. Absolutely. She can see Chance. She can see Chance, and he doesn't want her around for that very same reason. Hey, Queen. Queen said he was testing the waters, getting a feel. It's his first day. So, Queen, you think that that Chance gonna really show up? and try to get Bobby out of there. I think so too. Because I felt like we saw a bit of, a bit of chance when he was getting frustrated about his ID and Taylor wasn't doing it for him fast enough. So he's like, just get out of here, just move. And I'm like, why are you talking to her like that? You wasn't talking to her like that when you wanted her to put money on your books. Taylor, stay woke. Stay woke. Wendy, I hope the sister is on the lease. I hope the sister is on the lease. If not, woo, absolutely, May. He wants to isolate her. He absolutely wants to isolate her so he can take control. Hey, Antilles. How are you doing? Oh, okay. So the oldest father did pass away. Is that correct? Because JRR said the last daddy, though, he should definitely come and get his child. He should. I would love to see a present father on this show. The only present father we've seen is Lacey's father, and he does not seem to be working with a full deck of cards. And that's Lacey, Shane, and John. I, I don't want them back. I don't want Lacey, Shane, and John back on the show because it just the stuff that they keep on putting out, them little Instagram lives and videos, none of them seem healthy, right? It seems like they all doing some stuff, and I'm just like, this is too much of a train wreck for me. Okay. Sugar Z, thank you for the clarification. Said the father of the oldest two is deceased and the baby girl dad is around. Not saying that your life should be put on hold for your kids, but that oldest father is going like, are we sure she's okay? Like, that's dramatic. And then the youngest one is definitely grasping for some kind of attention from this man that she just met. I tried to let you live. Get out of here. Oh, it's the light. It's a light. Okay. I see what's happening. Hey, Aaliyah. Aaliyah said, I like that a lot of these couples actually knew each other prior. But how much do you really know somebody, right? But without meeting them in person, actually living with them. I think now they're going to know each other, but especially from the people in prison. We have heard several times over and over again how the ex-felons on this show are saying, I didn't really like this person. I just needed a companionship, or I just needed, I wanted somebody to come up and visit me because I was lonely, or I needed money. Like, so do you really know them now? Right? Because you met they crafted this person that you would be attracted to because they wanted something from you. So do you really know him? At least in Taylor's situation, she kind of knew the guy, but it's like, did you really know Chance? You was reaching out to him for your other man. Hey, lady 30524 said Chance is giving me abusive vibes. His first steps has to be getting that sister out. He's so concerned about Bobby so he can start his process. And sadly, I think that Taylor is truly that naive, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Oh, you think so? This is about what is his name? I forgot his name. Lacey and Antoine. You think the swords are opiates? Oh God. They should have put those cameras down. They should have put those cameras down. Oh. Yeah, Tia Bia said it. That was hard to watch seeing his mom lit like that. Like, we didn't need to see that. Oh, Love Like You Are said Antoine's mama is also giving emotional incest. Listen, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. You know, that calling him the man of the house, my protector. He's 6. Weirdo. Sly Cat said, that's how they choose them for the show. Remember, Tracy was using on set and she later died. Yeah, but this is my thing. Like, after Tracy, it's like, I thought that we would just do better, right? After Clinton Tracy, I just thought that the show would go in a different way. But I think we're just going back to the roots. It's not fun like this. I don't know why they haven't learned from Chevelle. Chevelle was such good TV. Such good TV. Miss Gigi88 said, "Hey, Nikki, I'm late. So happy you're still on. I have probably seen one episode of this new season, but I'm here for the laughs." It's not a lot of laughs. It's not a lot of laughs. They're going back to their roots. Shock and sadness and trauma. Indy said, "Yes, I know Kevin's look. At first, I was not sure if he was mixed race. Listen, like I said, Philly is full of white men with low cut Caesars. Full of them. Full of them. So I knew, I was like, this is definitely a Caucasian man with a lot of Black American male influence. But I mean, he is committed. He is committed to this. This is not, it's not giving Coach a vulture. It's giving like, this is who he thinks he is. It's giving Rachel Dolezal. Because I'm like, he don't turn this off. Even the way he was scratching his body. Did you guys see that? When he was on the phone with Tiffany, he had his phone like this and he was like scratching his body. I'm like, you even scratch your body like a Black man? What is happening? He is committed. He is committed. Hey, Busola. Busola said it's odd that there hasn't been any queer couples on this show yet. I'm like, where's the trans representation, right? Like, where is that? I just don't understand that. She could be some people. She could be. Are we talking about Ray Dean or Tiffany or both? Absolutely could be. Oh, we're talking about Tiffany. Oh, good observation, Indy said, I think that Kevin was trying to convince us that it's okay, that he's okay with it, but I don't think he is. I agree. Sugar Z said, Rick was hurt by Ray Dean having a girlfriend and not invited to play with them. It's like, Rick, Rick, you absolutely know. Because she told you not only do you have to be okay with this relationship, but that you're not going to be a part of it. Where they do that at? Even her mother was like, are you sure he's going to be fine with it? She was like, he has to be. So she'd already made her decision right there, and it's not you, Rick. Wake up. Wake up. Nothing. Absolutely nothing wrong with the lesbians. We love lesbians over here. We are LGBTQ friendly. I just think that we have lesbians on this show scamming. Scamming like they want to be with these men. Like like a subscriber said that it could be bi or pan. I just don't think that it could be with Ray Dean. I don't think that Tiffany is. Got to see more of her, but I'm just like risking your freedom for vagina. It's got to be great vagina. I don't know. I don't know. Nerly said, Chance is a ticking time bomb. There's so many red flags. He is trying to get Bobby out so he can have complete control over Taylor. Absolutely. Absolutely. He got quiet, so I don't know what happened. I don't know where he is, but I'm probably going to find out when I get off of here. Thank you so much, Shonda said, please follow Nikki on Instagram. That's my Instagram link. Oh, no, sup, people? She said it turned her stomach. I'm like, your stomach turned? Ma'am, the nerve. The nerve. Thank you. Wendy said, go to a theme park for an adrenaline rush, not commit felonies. Absolutely. Hey, Black Lavender. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. That's what I think too, Indy. Indy said, talking about Ray Dean, she was scamming him, talking about Rick, and she just cannot shake him off yet. It's obvious she's not into him, and I think he saw signs, hence him saying red flags. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. You know what? Brittany, I actually believe. Brittany is bisexual. I absolutely believe that Brittany is bisexual. Yeah. Tiffany, I don't know, y'all. The jury's still out with Tiffany. Tracy says, shout out to the NikkiStar replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social media. Thank you so much, fam. But no, Indy, Martell was talking to multiple people. He was talking to multiple people. I do think he was talking to women as well, but especially like the phone calls that he was taking that he did not want to put on speakerphone, accompanied with his confessional, where he was talking about how he has to look out for people who looked out for him, and how, you know, this is just the life that he has to live. I felt like he was speaking in code and just letting us know, I'm not going to be at Walmart pushing carts for coin. I'm slinging cocaine. Why don't all of these, I just don't, oh, can they not? I was just about to say, why don't people who have been in prison for drugs, for drug trafficking, just open a legal weed spot in like a place where it's legal? But are they barred from that? The nerve, the nerve, the nerve. Let me know. If you've had like felonies concerning drugs, can you open a legal drug company? I was like, Kayla, don't piss him off. Don't piss him off. Don't piss him off. We on the same page. We on the same page. He was. He has been craving that seafood salad for 13 years. The way he ripped that bag open, I don't even like seafood salad, but I was like, you know what? I take a spoonful, because the way he was eating it, I'm like, that must be ta-ta-ta-licious. Oh, gosh. Let me get 2 more comments and then let me get out of here. Oh, you know what? Maybe 4 more, because I see some good stuff. Breezy with the frown, what's up? Said, the way Harry said, man, move. I know Indy's baby was scared. Shame on Harry. He's still a child. Yeah. Shame on Indy for putting her child in that situation. Because after that, the man moved, and you and your baby pinned on the wall scared. I would have been like, oh, okay. Call me a cab. Call me an Uber. Get me out of this situation. Or at least if you're contractually obligated to film the show, film with him at like amusement parks and public places, and ship your child to stay with your mother until you finish your contractual obligation for this show. But that is no environment for a child. I'm so scared to step on her property. Listen, I now live in an open carry state, so until me and her actually meet and become besties, I'm not touching that horse. I'm not touching it, but he's so beautiful. He's so beautiful. You'll see him on my other channel. He's so beautiful. He's so beautiful. I actually got used to it. The last time I went to Jamaica, I was there for a while. I actually got used to it, and a few of them became my friends. I don't know how I was able to, do that, pull that off, but I think at some point they're around so much, you just get used to it. You just get used to it. LCPMJK said, Ghanaian New Yorker here. I'm not here for the N-word, but I'm old. Listen, I'm not everybody. I can't generalize New York like that, and forgive me for doing that. Just in my experience, it was just a little shocked. Coming from Philadelphia, it was just very shocked. I was like, this is okay. Oh, some people talking about the lunch ladies getting their back blown out says they say lunch ladies might mean boyfriend. Might. Did we have that, JR? JR said, I'm also interested in seeing a black woman on this show with a black man waiting for her to get out. Did we have that? Oh no, I'm thinking about a celebrity couple. Who am I thinking about? Walk around the metal detectors. What is her name? Her and her husband. Papoose. Papoose and who else? Papoose and who? Remy Ma. Remy Ma. Oh, I hope it's, if we do get that, I hope it's like that. I hope it's a love story like that. JG said the fact that they have hair shops in prison. Didn't one of them that had dreads in a previous speak on that? I don't know if he spoke on that, but I do know that his hair looked better in prison. When he got out of prison, his hair was Quaylon. His hair was terrible. Terrible. IA said Indy has another child that doesn't live with her. So oh, really? I didn't know she had another child. Wow. Hey, Cheyenne. How are you doing, sis? How are you doing? Hey, All Day Finesse. All Day Finesse said, did we ever talk about how Indy's family look exactly like the mother? Except for Indy. Her sisters and brothers are the spitting image of her mom, but Indy just favors her. Probably looks like their dad. Indy, I think you're looking at it like this, because I was thinking the same thing, right? But I realized that all of Indy's siblings have this part of their mom's face. Indy has this part, sans the teeth, no shade, right? But Indy has this part of her mother, and I think this top of her dad. Like when they're side by side, you can see it, cheekbones and everything, cheekbones, lips and everything. But I think this is her dad, and this is her mom, and her siblings have the opposite, because they all have their mother's forehead, they all have their mother's eyes, and they all have some variation of her nose. But yeah, I noticed that too. I noticed that. Oh yes, I miss her. I miss Redbone. I hope they have her on Love Life After Lockup. I hope so. I hope so. Well, he already said that he was going to lay down the law. Like, this is his home now. Like, he already said that. Taylor, oh. That's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Listen, if I went into prison for drug trafficking, I would definitely start a drug business in my mama name. And, just teach everybody how to run it. You know what I mean? Like, if I can make money legally, you know what I mean? Just put it in my mama name and make sure she give me my cut. I'm good. Oh, Teresa, you have a dispensary. All right, promote. Teresa said, my dispensary works with felons. You need a lot of money to get your record cleared. Isn't it always that? Always something. Always moving the goalpost. Always moving the goalpost. Oh, I haven't released it yet. I won't say when I plan on doing it, just because something always comes up. I'm just going to surprise you guys, because every time I set a date, something comes up. So I'm just going to surprise you and be like, hey, guess what? It's up. It's up. Let me, I'm going to end with these last three from Sundance Black. Beautiful name. Said, I think in some places they open dispensaries on credit from the state. Pretty sure New York just passed something like this, because listen, at the end of the day, all drugs are going to become legal. They're going to make some form of meth legal. They're already trying it now in Philly, where they have, I don't know what it's called, but it's like meth, like legal meth labs, where they give you a concentrated amount of meth. My bestie lives down the street from one, and it opened while she was already living there, and she's just like, it is a whole nightmare. But they're going to find some way the government is going to find some way to benefit from this. The same thing, like everything that was illegal, that was making poor and working class people money, the government always finds a way to profit from it, because the government always works for the 1% of this nation. So the 1% is going to find a way to make that work for them. They tried it with Oxy, and now, a lot of those pharmaceutical families are getting sued, but it's going to become legal. It's going to, all drugs are going to become legal. They did it this, they tried it with the mob, and the mob was what do they call them? Boosting back in the day. When the mob was having all of those legal bars or whatever, and selling all kinds of liquor that was illegal. The government decided to legalize it because the American mafia. And I learned all of this. I'm telling you, you have to watch A&E. I learned all of this from the A&E documentary called I think it's something called The Mob and the Gay Community. It's something with the mob and the LGBTQ community, or the mob and the gay community. And it was in the documentary, it was talking about the origins of gay bars, and the mob was actually having started illegal bars, right? Because liquor was outlawed back in the day. So they were having, I forgot what they called them. Was it bootlegging? Something, but there were these illegal bars that they were having underground at different places, and they will put them in every community. They had them in the Black community, they had them in the gay community, and that was essentially the origin of gay bars. The gay bars in America was started by the mafia. I have to find out the name of the documentary, but it was very, very, very interesting. And what happened was the government saw how much money the mob was making and just decided to make it legal and get in on it. And that's how all of a sudden these 1% family, these 1% wealthy families who got rich off of cotton now all of a sudden started making liquor. The goalpost is always moved for the poor and working class. It's always moved. I said all that to say, if you went to if you went to jail or prison for drug trafficking, you should be able to open up a legal dispensary, especially if it was a drug that you were in prison for trafficking. But it will never happen, because if you're locked up for drugs, then you're probably from a poor working class community, and you will never get power in this nation. Why do we always end up here? Because I'm tired. I'm so tired. Shout out to the replay gang, the NikkiStar replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social media. You have to do it. Why? Because the NikkiStar TV General, Tracy, told you to. Thank you, family, so much for joining me. I'm going to get out of here and watch Married at First Sight. If you don't mind, please go and check out my latest video that I did, a recorded video for last week's Married at First Sight. I'm going to do a live for the latest episode tomorrow, along with the reality TV chat, talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey, Real Housewives of Orange County, and the new bombshell that just dropped about the Real Housewives of New York. Thank you again for joining me. I will see you soon. I gotta go. God, if he's close to the door, I'll release him. But if he's like deep inside my living room, he's gonna die. He's gonna have to, I'm gonna play God. I'm gonna play God. Anyway, love y'all. See you tomorrow. Bye. Love you guys. Bye.